Well, hey everybody, Mr. Reeves back with you. And in our previous video, we looked at solving equations for y to write them in slope-intercept form. In this short video, we're going to follow that up with solving inequalities for y. So as you know, solving equations and solving inequalities is a very similar process, but a big difference we have to remember with inequalities, because it's not an equals, right? Because the direction makes is super important. Greater than or equal to is the opposite of less than or equal to. When we multiply or divide by a negative, we have to remember to reverse the inequality sign. So that's going to be the big difference in solving for y. The steps using inverse operations is going to be the same. Whoops, here we go. All right. So I'm going to take a look here at 15x plus y is greater than or equal to 2, okay? And again, my goal is to solve for y. And it was very nice of them. They didn't put a coefficient on y, so the only thing I need to do is subtract the 15x from each side. And when I do that, I get y is greater than or equal to, and again, as I mentioned in the previous video, we could write 2 minus negative 15x, and that would be perfectly correct. But if we wanted in slope-intercept form, y is greater than or equal to negative 15x plus 2. And notice we did not multiply or divide by a negative, so we did not need to reverse the inequality sign. Y is greater than or equal to negative 15x plus 2. Greater than or equal to negative 15x plus 2. How did we do? Well done. All right, same idea right here. What do we have? We have 4x plus y is less than or equal to 8. My goal is to get that y by itself, so I get y is less than or equal to, and again, instead of writing 8 minus 4x, I'm going to write negative 4x plus 8. Y is less than or equal to negative 4x plus 8. Okay. All right, now this one is going to be a little more tricky, because you'll notice this one right here, we've now got the y being subtracted. So I'm going to start the same way by subtracting away that 6x from both sides. All right, but notice now, be very, very careful. It's not a plus y or a positive y that's left. It's a negative y. Negative y is less than, and again, I'm going to write negative 6x plus 12. Okay, but we want to solve for y. We want it in slope-intercept form. So again, I can either multiply or divide by negative 1. Okay, I prefer to multiply by negative 1. And what do I get? A negative times a negative is a positive. I got that positive y. Over here, I get a negative 1 times a negative 6x is a positive 6x, and then instead of plus 12, now I have minus 12. But I multiplied by a negative 1, so I'm going to reverse that inequality sign, and I get y is greater than 6x minus 12. Y is greater than 6x minus 12. How did we do? Alrighty, same idea here. All right, so I've got 6x minus y is greater than 16. I want to get that y by itself, so I'm going to subtract that 6x. Okay, but what's left? Not y, not plus y, minus y, or negative y is greater than, and again, I'm going to write negative 6x plus 16, because I'm looking for y equals mx plus b. Of course, it's not going to be equals. It's going to be greater than or less than. Then what am I going to do? Then I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 1. And when I do that, a negative 1 times a negative gives me a positive y. Over here, I get 6x minus 16. But instead of greater than, now I have less than. Y is less than 6x minus 16. Y is less than 6x minus 16. Alrighty. Well, let's see if they've got anything more difficult going on here. Okay, now you'll see we have some coefficients. All right, so we've got 18x plus 13y is greater than or equal to 6. Let's keep our focus. We're trying to solve for y, not x. So again, I'm not trying to separate those two. I talked about this in the previous video. Since we're solving for y, we're perfectly happy to keep those two together. So I'm going to subtract 18x from both sides. When I do that, I get 13y is greater than or equal to, and again, I'm going to write it in slope-intercept form, so negative 18, that's an x. Negative 18x plus 6. All right, but my goal is to get that y by itself, so what do I need to do? I need to divide by 13. Okay? All right, so these are some not nice coefficients. So this one, oops, I changed it to equals. I divided by a positive, so I'm not reversing the inequality sign. I get negative 18 over 13x plus 6 over 13. All right, it does not, these fractions do not simplify. All right, so what is that going to look like when we put it in? Y is greater than negative, what was it, 18 over 13x, right? And then it was it plus? Yeah, plus 6 over 13 over 13. All right, technically, we got to be careful here. We really should put parentheses around this part here. I think I talked about this way back when, because we don't want that x to be part of the denominator. I think IXL counts it as separate, but really, since we don't have that vertical bar for division, it's good to put that in parentheses to make sure we know that that x is not part of the denominator. All right, what did I do wrong? I answered, ladies and gentlemen, my answer is not, greater than or equal to. I missed the equal to part. Sorry, I was so focused on that fraction thing, I missed the equal part. Okay, let me skip up. Similar idea here. Subtract 4x, divide by 14. That one's just about the same. Same thing here. Doesn't look like they're going to give us anything more challenging than that, but I cannot finish on getting one wrong. All right, I can't allow that. So here we go. I'm going to finish this one up correctly. I'm going to first subtract 4x from both sides because my goal is to solve for y, not for x. So I get 14y is less than or equal to negative 4x plus 16. Then I'm going to divide everything by 14. Okay. Y is less than or equal to. Now this one does simplify. I could divide both of those by 2, and I get negative 1/7 x. And this one also does simplify. 16 divided by 14 becomes 8/7. Okay, let's see if I can get this one right. Negative 1/7 x plus 8/7, and it's a less than or equal to. All right, y is less than or equal to negative 1/7 x. All right, and then what was it? Plus 8/7. And I got the less than or equal to. I think we're good. Let's cross our fingers. No way, it happened again. Less than or equal to 2/7. Oh, Mr. Reeves. You know what? I'm just going to have to finish on... I got to go back and look at that. I can't let that... Yeah, 2. Man, Man. That's why sometimes we need second chances. And Mr. Reeves always gives us a second chance, doesn't he? Alrighty. So sad. But I am going to finish on that mistake because, making mistakes is not a problem as long as we learn from our mistakes. And I have learned from mine. And I hope you've learned from mine as well. Sometimes it's better to learn from other people's mistakes than your own. All right. Let them suffer instead of you. No, that's not a nice attitude. Let's learn together, shall we? Until next time, have a great day.